Let's rate sentences from my college essay that got me into every school I applied to. Starting off with the first sentence of my essay, it was, I idolize anarchists. I'm gonna have to give this one a 10 out of 10. I think it was a really great, bold way to start my essay and really introduce this idea of punk rock that I would talk about later. And I think it was just a really good step to take to kind of hook that reader in right off the bat. The next sentence is, I find beauty in my own punk rock identity. Unconventional to mainstream punk rock, yet conventional to common man. A dichotomy within a dichotomy. I think I'm gonna give this a solid 8.5 out of 10. I think it was a really great way of explaining my identity and how it kind of interacted with the other parts of my life. The only reason why I took a few points off is because I don't know if exactly saying like a dichotomy within a dichotomy is necessarily true. I don't even know exactly what that would entail, if I'm being completely honest, but I think it was a really unique way to portray this sort of identity. The next sentence is, as a second generation punk rocker, I'll be a first generation college student. I really love this sentence. I think I'm gonna give it a 9.5 out of 10. I think that portraying this idea of these generations of people and this generations of my family and kind of forging my own path through that first generation college student but still staying true to my second generation punk rockness was like a really fun way to phrase it, and I think it was a great way of really portraying that dichotomy. The next sentence is, it felt surreal, like my rebellious punk rock spirit bonded with scientific precision, creating a space where my unique upbringing could thrive in a real life scientific scene. I'm gonna give this a 6 out of 10 for a couple of reasons. The first one is, reading that sentence on its own kind of sounds like it's like AI or something, which I don't necessarily love. And the second reason is because I feel like in the entire process of this like scientific scene that I was in, I wasn't necessarily like thinking about my punk rock upbringing or anything like that. So I think it isn't necessarily like true to what exactly I was feeling in that moment, but I do think looking back on it like in a reflective way, it is true. Next is, I found beauty in this reality, being the sole remaining student, one raised in counterculture, willing to see this mission to the end. I'm gonna give this a 5 out of 10. I don't think that this detail of me being the last person in the scientific scene is necessarily relevant to the rest of my essay. And once again, I feel like this sounds like AI, like on its own. So I feel like, I don't know, I don't love the way that it's phrased. I think I would have, written it a little bit differently if I could go back and do it again. If you want help from our team of experts, go to essay.cafe/Odelia.